Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this episode of Second Home. Today we celebrate the Egyptian National Day. We bring to you all its events happening here at the Millennium Hotel. There's so much happening and so many conversations to follow. I hope you enjoy this show. On this occasion of the Egyptian National Day, it is my honor to be introducing to all of you His Excellency Tariq Al-Kuni. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you.
We would love to hear from you about your experience in Kuwait. How long have you been here in Kuwait?
I've been here for about 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Do you like it here?
Very much, very much. You know, we feel we are at our home, and we have felt from the first day, myself and my wife, the hospitality of the Kuwaiti side officially, and as well from the Kuwaiti people. And we are feeling at home.
You know, this is what I get from a lot of communities here in Kuwait. They do feel at home. And I don't know if you know, but the name of our program is called Second Home.
Really?
And it is about highlighting how different communities, different nationalities come to Kuwait and make it their home.
Yes, and indeed we are feeling we are at our second home, and as well as you know, there is a very big Egyptian community here. Not as big as the Indian community. I think it is coming second after the Indian community, about 700,000 people working in different fields here, and they are feeling at home as well.
Yes, I have many friends who belong to Egypt, and they really like it here.
Very good, very.
Tell us about the relationship, bilateral relationship between Egypt and Kuwait. What do you think of that?
I think it's an excellent relationship existing between the two countries for many years ago, and we have historical relation between the two countries, the two people, and the bilateral relation is covering many fields, not only political and official, but as well cultural and people-to-people relationship. And even this people-to-people contact, you know, existing long ago, before establishing the diplomatic relationship between the two countries after the Kuwaiti independence and the creation of the state of Kuwait. And over the years, it has developed, deepened, and have been growing, you know, in many aspects.
About these 8 months that you spent here in Kuwait, They've been extremely busy, I believe.
Yes, I knew before coming that I'm coming to a busy post because Kuwait is a very important country in this region, and there is a lot happening between Egypt and Kuwait, as well as because of the existence of this Egyptian community, big community in Kuwait. So this adds a lot to the bilateral relations between the two countries, and I can say that I've been lucky, to come to on such a base, a strong base. But of course, there is a lot which has to be done. And from the first months, I can tell you that during the first 5 weeks, we had about 6 ministerial visits. So this is just an example, about what's going on between the two countries. And we despite the deep relationship existing between the two countries, but there is always a need of nurturing it and adding to it, and we always find that a lot can be done in addition to what exists.
About today's event. Today's event is about celebrating the National Day.
Yes.
And how is it done generally in Egypt?
No, there is of course a public holiday, and this day is celebrating the commemoration of the revolution of the 23rd of July, 1952, which created a new environment in Egypt and in the Arab and African, continent, and it was the beginning of a new reality, calling for independence, self-determination, and which affected a lot of our neighboring Arab and African countries. It focused as well on the social dimension and social equality, providing, education and health for everybody.
Very important.
In Egypt. And it relates very much to the current reality, in Egypt. Also, of course, we need to always add and work, in order to achieve what we started to do, about 66 years ago.
Yes.
So in Egypt, there is a national holiday, of course, and we have some formal, official events, a speech by His Excellency the President, and you will find out a lot of documentaries, programs, revisiting the revolution and the aftermath of the revolution, and remembering, what happened.
Because the future generation needs to know what happened.
Of course.
You need to know where you come from. So today's event here is about to begin. I don't know if our audience can hear this Egyptian music in the background going on. So the mood is already setting for today's event. What is your favorite music and
Egyptian-wise, I prefer the traditional Egyptian music, and we have a rich legacy in this respect. But also I enjoy some modern music, some fusion, between traditional Arabic and modern music. And there are a lot of new bands coming
yes.
out, in Egypt, and internationally, of course, I'm following the international cultural scene, and of course, I like classic, as well as some pop, bands. And
wow, you have a nice wide range of.
We live in a similar world, and now everybody can follow anything.
Yes, I mean it would be very difficult for me.
And I have some, children. I have daughters, and sometimes they show me what they are listening.
I'm sure they keep you updated about the music scene. I love the Egyptian culture. I've been to Egypt twice actually, on a Nile cruise as well. And I love how they do I'm not so sure what they call it, but the man who keeps...
It's called the Tanura dance.
Tanura dance.
And it has got a religious Sufi dimension.
Yes, of course, because it does look very similar to the Sufism in which they do that same revolutionary thing. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, thank you. It's my pleasure as well.
The chief guest for today's event is the State Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Adel Al-Khurafi. As you can see, he is being welcomed by the Egyptian ambassador. I would now like to introduce to all of you Mr. Sharif Shams. He is a graphic designer of many talents, a graduate from the Fine Arts College in Egypt. Welcome to our show.
Welcome, how are you?
I'm good. Tell us about your involvement in today's event. I did see glimpses of some of the paintings that are up there. Yes. They are amazing, brilliantly done.
Thank you, thank you. Here we have a lot of artists designing and a lot of materials, different materials with maybe 12 artists from Egypt live in Kuwait. Yes. Different work, different life.
Yes, like there is oil painting, then there is...
they use a lot of tools. It's not one technique, okay? My technique is pencil and aquarelle color. It's like watercolor. My friend gouache, acrylic, and another one, artist, oil. We have also, you can see a new look in Egypt. You can take this photo from Egypt by taking the art, the beginning to get in Egypt.
Very talented. I saw the portraits just before I entered. I hope we can capture some of those for the audience as well today. But tell us, so this is not what you do all the time. You have a job here in Kuwait.
Yes.
So you work as
graphic designer.
Graphic designer.
And art teacher.
Art teacher. Yes. Is it satisfying to teach art? Do you think you can teach art to somebody, or do you have to be born
he should have what can I say? I can give you fish, but how can I make it every day? You can use it, you can eat, it's one fish, right? You should have something to be a professional, to be an artist.
Right.
What's this? It's in your mind, your heart. Yes, you should have.
I see what you mean. Let me capture that. So you were saying that a person should have in his own heart the passion to do art. Yes. And then what a teacher, a mentor can do is help him
to clean it.
Yep. To polish his art.
Yes. And push him to go for, he should choose a way to get it. There is a lot of schools for arts. Okay, like Leonardo da Vinci, yes. Like Van Gogh, Picasso, Michael, all of them.
Wow, some great names right there.
All of them, artists. Leonardo making art and physicals, but he used the physicals in his painting.
Yes, and also the body anatomy. He understood the body, and that's why he could do every muscle accurately. That is the idea of any creative form. Like music is also supposed to convey what the musician is feeling. Just like that, painting should also convey what the painter feels.
For me, I can listen to music, sad music, okay, when I'm painting. I paint there by black color only, okay, one of my works, of my paints with black color only. I paint, I don't know if you see by the camera. You know the tanura?
Yes, of course.
Okay, it's folklore in Egypt.
The soulful dance.
Like that with
Yes, spinning.
Okay, I take him from up view,
Oh, wow.
not front, not face, up. Type why I use the black. If you see it, you will listen the music. If you look to him and another paint also with using another tools in music. If you in the room silent,
You can listen to the music. Oh wow,
I see
that's
that.
beautiful.
Like-
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us. It was a pleasure knowing you. And if there's anything you want to convey to your audience, this is Second Home on Kuwait TV2. If there's any message you'd like to give to your audience,
Kuwait is my born country. Okay, I come here first with my family, and now my daughters and my son also in Kuwait. I love Kuwait. I love Egypt too.
like to introduce to all of you a guest who's come here at this event. Welcome to our show, Mrs. Dalia Ahmed.
Hi.
Tell us about this event today. As a guest, what are you expecting in this event, and what is it that you do on an Egyptian National Day?
I'm expecting to be happy, and I want to celebrate with all the Egyptian people that they are here, and the people in Egypt, they celebrate, sing, and make everything to be happy.
If you were, let's say, back home in Egypt, how would you be celebrating this day?
I will celebrate with my family by cooking some dishes, some sweets like this.
How long have you been in Kuwait?
6 years.
6 years. Do you like it?
It's a very nice country, and also the people, they are very nice.
Right. By profession, you are a physiotherapist. You're and you work with the Ministry of Education?
Yes, with the handicapped children.
I see. When you work with them, is it fulfilling or is it depressing? It might not be easy to see handicapped children all the time, or is it satisfying?
There's some children, they are depressed, and the others, there is some children, they are depressed, and others, they are happy, and they have no problems, no psychological problems, and others have some psychological problems.
How does it affect you? Does it affect you? When you go back home, is your mood better or worse because of that?
When I go home, I'm trying to forget everything in my work.
Yes.
To be able to continue my life with my family and my children.
Yes. True. How many children do you have?
I have 2 children.
2 children. And for our audience, because you're into health industry, is there any tip you'd like to give to our audience today?
I want to advise the families that they have handicapped children to take care of them and to make support for them. And also I want to tell everybody, when he saw a handicapped children or an adult person, don't look for him for a long time, because they feel, and not you, not your looks for him. So try to help him and take care of him.
Right. Great. Thank you so much. There is also one very underlying problem that I've seen, noticed in our corporate culture. Posture. The body posture is so bad. People sit for long hours, and I know so many people whose back hurt if they sit for more than 2 hours. Then they have to stand, and now they've come up with those standing tables. So what is the best way to sit? I don't know if am I sitting correctly now?
Like you, but if we take our posture must be erected like this. But as you know, in our practical day, we all forget.
We all forget, yeah, especially with our YouTube videos, and we are standing.
But my advice, if there's anyone here in his work, he need to sit for a long times, at least every 15 minutes, he have to stand up or walk for 5 minutes to protect his back and spine and avoid any medical problems in future.
Right. Every 5 minutes and 15 might be a little too much for everybody, but at least 30 seconds, just get up, take a little walk and come back. We can do that. We can do that. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm very happy to meet you. Thanks.
I'm pleased to introduce to all of you Mr. Sanjeeva Pelapatia. Welcome to our show.
Nice talking to you. Welcome. Thank you.
Tell us about your involvement today here. You are representing Sri Lanka, right?
I'm representing Sri Lanka on behalf of His Excellency the Ambassador, and I find very special. I had to give a small description about Sri Lanka and Egypt relationship. Egypt and Sri Lanka has a very far-reaching relationship, more than 30-40 years, and we have been mutually and culturally, very especially Sri Lanka and Egypt has a very deep history and a cultural relationship and economic cooperation, very close ties with Egypt. Egypt has been a very good friend of Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka has been a very good friend of Egypt, and Egypt has continuously supported our country when we were having a terrorist problem few years back, and Egypt has continuously been our ally and our supporter. So Sri Lanka also, in all numerous ways, wherever we can tie up with Egypt to do any sort of intervention to help Egypt or to be with Egypt, we are there. And I want to just say that we are wholeheartedly, Sri Lankans are with Egyptians, and they are very friendly. And Egypt has had a very good relationship and a very cordial relationship with Sri Lanka, I would say.
Wow, that's a great message to be given on the Egyptian National Day. Very happy Egyptian National Day to you too. What do you think of today's event? It seems like a pretty grand event here.
Yeah, definitely Egyptians had arranged this very grandly, and when I initially came into the lobby here, I saw the Egyptian culture. It's very famous from the pharaohs days. We know the mummies, the Egyptian heritage and the culture, which is very, very rich in the region. Egypt can boast of a very good cultural history, to my knowledge.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing such great points about Egypt. It was lovely talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
It is with great pleasure that I bring to you His Excellency, the Pakistani Ambassador to Kuwait, Ghulam Rastagir. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. While taking this opportunity, I would like to say my congratulations to our brothers in Egypt, the ambassador of Egypt in Kuwait, and the people who are living here, and also the people back home in Egypt. So I would just like to convey them my deep felicitations on their National Day. You know that the National Day receptions are held wherever you have embassies, and so this is also one of their activities, so just to celebrate your National Day in a befitting manner. So I just want to say my hello to all Egyptian people who are living in Kuwait. Pakistan and Kuwait are very close brothers. We have very close relations. Relations between the two countries are historic. Not only you see the recent, but right from the beginning, we have very close relations. We are having cooperation in diverse fields. Our Pakistani, they are aware of this Al-Azhar University, which has also played very, very important role in teaching, in imparting religious education as well, because it is one of the leading university in the whole world. So Pakistani, they do aware about the Egyptian people and their contribution.
Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us. I would now like to introduce to all of you a guest who is a doctor, Dr. Sharif Goma. Welcome to our show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Tell us about the event. What do you think of today's event?
Actually, here we're celebrating the 23rd of July. We're celebrating, it's an event, and we're coming here to celebrate this day. Yes.
It seems like a pretty grand event.
Celebrating the revolution. We have too many revolutions in our country.
How long have you been here in Kuwait?
Actually, I've been like 6 continuous years.
Do you like it here?
Of course, I like Kuwait, that's why I'm living here.
So, you think this is a good place to bring up children?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Profession,
Actually, here Kuwait is no big difference than Egypt. It's an Arab country and it's just like an extension. We are all extensions to each other.
Yes, I've heard that before, that it's very similar to Egypt.
Yes.
You're a dentist by profession?
Yes.
And can you give our audience some good tip about keeping our gums and teeth healthy?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Could you give us, our audience, some good tip about keeping our gums and teeth healthy?
Keeping your gums and being healthy, just brush your teeth.
You heard the dentist. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is all we had for today's episode. Egypt is indeed a culturally very rich country. We've learned so much about Egypt and its heritage. I hope this show was enjoyable for all of you. Until next week, from the team of Kuwait TV 2, stay blessed.